Welcome to TechMate Simplified. Today, I'm going to bring you guys a video of a very nice gaming build. First off, we're going to start with the power supply. This is the Corsair CX600. This is the non-modular power supply because it's a little bit cheaper. It's pretty much the same thing. If you want the modular one, they do have it for about $10 to $15 more. But this power supply will give you enough power to power up a single card. A single card that has two 6 pins, or one 8 pin, one 6 pin, or you could do two lower end cards that takes one 6 pin each. So it can actually do crossfire if you want it to. It has enough amperage. Probably has like 40 something amps on it. It's a pretty good power supply. I have one of these in one of my systems, so it's a fairly nice one. It's served me good for about 2 years now, and it still hasn't died yet. And they give you Corsair gives you a 3-year warranty. So I've worked with Corsair before, and I sent my defective products in, and they sent you out a brand new uh, product. So it's really nice company. All you have to do is just pay for shipping, which is not bad. 600 watts, and it's plenty of power to power up any high-end graphics card, even up to 780 to the NVIDIA GTX 780. So it's really nice, really quiet too. And let's move on to the next one. And this is the case, the Cooler Master N200. This is a micro ATX case, full mesh on the front, and it has the LEDs right there and the power button, and it has the headphone and microphone jacks, 3.5mm jacks. It has two USB 2s and one USB 3. I wish they have two USB 2s, USB 3s, but they only have one, which is a bummer because the internal header actually supports two. But this case, it supports, on the hard drives, they support three 3.5-inch hard drives, which is the regular spinning one, mechanical ones, and it supports four 2.5-inch SSDs. So you could just pick your own kind of drives and pop it in. It could fit in fairly large graphics cards also, and it's fairly nice design. It's kind of like really pretty gamerish kind of design. And this is the picture of the inside, which it doesn't look too bad. You could probably fit like a really nice graphics card in here. Probably not the long ones like a dual GPU, but it could fit, the single GPU is pretty fine. And here's your bracket right here for your hard drives, and then your 5 1/4 drives up here. And then it could also support, on the cooling side for your CPU, you could fit a 240mm radiator cooler, the all-in-one coolers like the Corsair H100. You could fit it just fine, and it could fit the 120mm air heatsink coolers like the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. And it doesn't cost that much. It's $50, and it's really nice quality too. And in the rear, the punch out for your I/O shield, your I/O, it has 4 expansion slots right here. So if you have a graphics card, you'll be taking up the first 2, and then the bottom 2 could be something else. The rear fan, which is included, it looks like a 120mm mount, and that looks like either an 80mm or a 92mm. And let's move on. The RAM is pretty expensive right now, and this is the only one that I could find that's a fairly good deal. This is pretty much the cheapest one. It's the Crucial Ballistics Sport 8GB kit. So it's 4 by 4 makes 8 gigabytes, and it's a 1600 megahertz speed, and I believe the timings are 99924, which is pretty tight timings, average timings. Uh, there's some RAM that are more expensive that has the same timings and same clock speed. This is pretty much the cheapest one. The only thing is that it has green PCBs, and not everybody likes the green PCB. And the color scheme is not bad. Gray and black is not bad. Probably fit in almost every build. It certainly probably would fit into the build that I'm showing you guys today. Next one is the no, not the motherboard. This is the graphics card, which is temporarily out of stock. It's the Asus R9 270. It's not the 270X. It's just the regular 270. But the 270 is just like the 270X. The only thing different about it is that it has lower clock speeds, and um, it also draws less power. So the overclock on this one might be a little bit lower than the 270X, but it's not enough to make a big difference. This one should play all your games just fine. Battlefield 4 on high, maybe even ultra. It's 2 gigabytes of RAM, which is more than enough, because Battlefield 4 at 1080p ultra is only around 1500 megabytes, which is 1.5 gigabytes of memory that it uses, so it should be fine. And it's slightly overclocked, and you could actually overclock it more, but the only thing is that is power restrictions. The 270X chip, the 270 chip is kind of restricted by this power draw. So let's move on to the next one. It's the motherboard, the MSI Z87M Gaming. This is an Intel motherboard, and you can tell it has a really nice color scheme. Black PCB with black accents and red accents, so it's really nice. And he thinks there's the dragon and the MSI logo actually glows white, and the heat sinks on here looks really nice with the red accents. And has for the fan, the CPU fan, there's one CPU fan, and there's an optional CPU fan, and then there's for the case fans, the internal case fans, there's two internal case fans. They're all 4 pins too, so you could actually control it with third-party or software. And let's look at some of the pictures. The rear I/O. There's two USB 2s, PS2 port for your the combo for your mouse or keyboard, and then two USB 3s, killer Ethernet, which is pretty good onboard Ethernet that they have on there. SPDIF out, which is for your optical out into like a home theater system or something, and then DisplayPort, HDMI, and then USB 3, two USB 3s, another two USB 3, and then I believe these two are eSATA ports, and this is your analog audio for your surround sound. And let's move on to the next part, which is the last one. This is not the average Intel i7 or i5. This is the actually it's still for the 1155, but it's still for the 1155 socket of Intel's boards, but it's the Xenon chip, which only certain motherboards will fit. I don't think the Asus boards will be compatible with this chip. From what I've read on the on the website, I don't see any compatibility with this chip. Pretty much Gigabyte boards and MSI boards will take this chip, and this is the Intel Xenon E3 1230 V3, which is the version 3 for the Haswell. and it's essentially just like a 4770, which is not, it's not overclockable, but and also it's clocked a little bit lower at 3.3 instead of 3.4 or 3.5. But it also turbos up to like 3.7 or 3.8 or something like that. Anyways, so still fairly quick. You get the 4 cores and hyper-threading, so it's really nice for $252. It's not bad. It's just essentially just like the 4770, but with $50, $60 off. So it's really nice, and also doesn't come with the integrated graphics inside, so you actually have to have a dedicated card to run this chip. And really nice chip from Intel. Really fast too. Good for rendering, good for gaming. Good all-around chip for cheap. Because the 4670K, 4670K is already at $235 on Amazon. So just add about $20 more, and you could get this chip, and it has hyper-threading, and you don't need overclock. Overclock doesn't give you that much, anyways, and it gives you way too much heat. So for the Haswell, it's safe to just run it as stock. Just use the stock heatsink cooler, or whatever choice you want for heatsink cooler, and it'll run just fine. No overclocking, but you could underclock and undervolt, so it makes it run even cooler. And then the total comes out to $807.95, which is not a bad deal, not a bad build. This is assuming that you already have a way to get the operating system, or you already have an operating system like Windows 7 or Windows Vista, whatever, Windows 8 or 8.1, and you already have a hard drive, because everybody by now should at least have a hard drive and an operating system handy. So I mean, this is pretty much all you need. And this should run all your games at least on high. Maybe no anti-aliasing. Maybe two times anti-aliasing. Maybe not 4 times or just 8 times. Maybe 2 times anti-aliasing on ultra or high. So yeah. Let me know what you guys think about this build, because this come maybe in a few months, I'm gonna be purchasing this whole setup right here, and I'll probably do a how to build a PC, and how to put it together and everything step by step. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, see you guys.